Yes, sir. It's the 9 to 5 Sports Guys. It's your boy T.
What's happening? It's your man TJ.
What up, though? It's your boy Nam.
And I want to say thank you to everybody that's tuned in. Um, tune in to the 9 to 5 Sports Guys. Appreciate the support. Um, we going to get straight into it. First and foremost, how are y'all doing? I got to ask how y'all doing.
Bless, man. Bless.
Everything's good over here, bro.
I know Nam is on a high right now after, the ACC tournament. But we going to get into that
Yeah,
later.
DDMF.
uh, NFL free agency. So there's been a lot of movement in the NFL. Free agency started, and you know, I I I, I can speak for my team, which is the New York Jets, and we made a couple of moves. So we got DeMario Davis. He comes back to the Jets. We got Meekin Fitzpatrick. Uh, I think we got him on a 1 year deal, whatever. But the main essential piece that we was able to get was we traded for Geno Smith. We traded for Geno Smith before he got cut by the Raiders, and Geno comes back to the place that drafted him. Now, for those Jet fans that when we first drafted Geno is not the Geno that we know today. He was young. Some would say he was immature, and he showed flashes as a Jet, but he really didn't flourish until later on in his career when he got with Pete Carroll and Russ left Seattle. But if we could get a version of Seattle Geno this year with the Jets, I know this is a hot take, and some people may not agree. Hell, some Jet fans might not even agree. But I think the Jets can make a playoff run.
Yeah, y'all got a lot of holes in y'all team, man. You gotta First of all, you gotta be able to block for a quarterback for one. So you gotta. And your defense is kind of in shambles now with people going, defensive linemen leaving, cornerback and whatever. Yeah, you gotta fill some gaps. And first of all, you gotta fix that line.
Well, I think so I know we got the second overall pick. We got the second pick, we got the 16th pick, and we got two early second round picks. So granted, most of the good linemen, offensive linemen, we lost Vera Tucker. Vera Tucker, I believe, went to the Patriots. Simpson, he went back to Baltimore. So we missing two key pieces. Um, we might have to draft because or find somebody in free agency, but I think with the first two picks, we might go defense. Like you said, we need defense.
Then you send your boy Michi to Carolina.
Yep.
I think I might have said his name right. Michi.
Mechie, yeah.
Yeah.
Well, yeah. I know they were saying that this is a pause. This is a deep wide receiver draft. So we might pick up a wide receiver in one of the later rounds, but we do need a receiver opposite Garrett Wilson. Because unlike Fields, no disrespect to Fields, Geno Smith is going to throw the ball. When you have multiple games where your quarterback throws for 45 yards, 50 yards, you know, 48 yards, you're never going to win like that. And this is where you throwing those 45 it's not like you're throwing in the element. There was no snow, there was no rain, it wasn't cold weather. You was doing that in like October. So um I wasn't a fan of Gino when we first got him, but I've seen the progression and the maturity over the years. I think Gino. I think honestly speaking, I think we can make the playoffs this year, and we'll still have three first round picks because we got Dallas's pick next year, first round. We got our pick, and we got the Colts pick next year. So I think even if we don't draft like a Ty Simpson or the kid from LSU, I can't think of his name, Nutsmeyer, pause. Um, even if we don't draft a quarterback this year, that's crazy. That even if we don't draft a quarterback this year, I think we can. I think we can draft one next year.
Yeah, yeah,
You think?
it's gonna take y'all at least 2 years to I think at least 2 years to be competitive to catch up right now with Buffalo and New England. New England's on they surging right now because they haven't been to the Super Bowl, and then we don't know what Malik Willis gonna look like there in Miami. So that could be a turning point for them. So I at least give y'all 2 years just to finish building the team. To be able to fight for that division.
Yeah, because what Geno Smith is not like y'all had what 8 wins and just needed to get over the hump. This is a total rebuild, top to bottom.
Yeah. No, you're
So
right.
I I think you guys would be more competitive and show flashes and take like that step forward. But I'm not gonna necessarily say playoffs immediately, but you never know. Anything can happen. I wouldn't rule it out, but I wouldn't bet my house on it though.
I wouldn't even bet
What
against
what
it.
what about the
Kitchen
Panthers?
sink, none of that.
What what are some of the moves that the Panthers have made? Are you happy so far with some of the moves the Panthers made?
I think some would argue that Dan Morgan is front runner for moves made so far in the free agency because like at the end of the season, remember I said we needed a linebacker, another edge rusher, and a tight end, and he answered two of those. We'll see what happens in a couple of weeks or so in the draft. We got Devin Lloyd, arguably the best number one and number two best free agent that was out there, linebacker from the Jacksonville Jaguars. And
Yeah,
then we went and got Jalen Phillips from Philly. Both of those were
that,
steals, to be honest. You
that
you
was a
get
good move.
two young premier players in their positions in their mid-20s.
Yeah,
So that answers a lot. Now you have a dynamic player in all three levels of defense. You have Phillips on one end, Derek Brown on the other edge. You have Devin Lloyd, and then we have J.C. Horn and Mike Jack in the back. So the defense is rounding out real solid right now. It was good. It was good. It was middle of the pack last year, what somewhere around 14, 15. And as far as total defense, now we can push into that top 10 if we can stay healthy.
do you see yourself the Panthers winning the division next year?
I think the division is wide open. I'm not gonna just jump out the window and say we'll win it, but I think it's wide open if depending on what Atlanta does as far as their quarterback, they have the pieces. They just didn't have a quarterback. Um, New Orleans. The only thing with New Orleans is their cap issue is all over the place, so it's very hard for them to bring players in. Um, Tampa's gonna be Tampa. They lost some pieces, but I think they'll still be there. So the division is wide open as anybody's taken, but we'll compete for the division.
Now with Tampa, speaking of Tampa, that team is going to look completely different. I mean, you lost the biggest weapon you've had for the longest, and Mike
All
Evans,
time, all time.
he goes to San Fran on a 1 year deal. And Godwin, they got rid of Godwin too, right?
I'm not sure.
I think Chris Godwin is still there. I just think
So they're okay.
Mike
But Mike
Evans is
Evans, Mike Evans goes to San Francisco for a 1 year deal. That's gonna be interesting. That's gonna be interesting. Um,
It makes you wonder though, because it's not like he ring chasing. He got a ring, so it just makes you wonder, what really happened. They're in Tampa.
in Tampa. Yeah, that's
Chasing the
interesting.
bag. At his age and those injuries that he sustained the past couple of years, he's got to be chasing the bag.
Year deal, he ain't really chasing that.
Yeah, but
He ain't.
that's probably the most he'll make in a 1 year deal compared to like a multiple year deal, you know?
Yeah.
Stick
So it's like
around
an
for 2 more.
audition.
If you stick around for 2 more years, they probably end up getting 1 year deals, which means that money will add up just like it would if you got a 3 year deal.
Right. Just it's an audition for every next team. So if you can get 15 here, 15 there, 15 there, it's as if you got a 45 year deal, 45 million dollar contract or something.
So with Tampa, Tampa's gonna look different. New Orleans, I know it's hard to keep momentum, at the end of the season, but New Orleans was one of the hottest teams closing out the season. And we'll see what they do, in the draft and moving forward. But the Falcons made an interesting move and they signed Tua. Now, for those that, whenever Tua does
Immediately.
play,
They didn't
yeah,
even wait.
yeah, whenever Tua does play and he's healthy, Tua's a pretty decent quarterback. He's a pretty decent quarterback. But one knock on Tua is that he doesn't perform well in the elements. But the thing that now he's going to a place where two of the places, Atlanta and New Orleans, they're domes. Carolina is not too cold, and then you're playing in Tampa. So do you think, TJ, and I'm asking you as the Falcons fan, do you think Tua at the quarterback, do you think he'll perform this season?
I think so. Well, for one reason is he ain't never had an offensive line. So now he comes with a team that is the offensive line is established. So he never had blockers for one. Two, to comment on Nam saying, well, we didn't waste no time. Well, you got several factors to key in here. We ain't got a pick to the 48. You know what I'm saying? We don't know what's gonna be sitting around, you know, on the draft board by the time we get ready to pick. And two, we need a veteran presence in there with Michael Penix. You know what I'm saying? It's like, yeah, you had Geno. The 49ers won't coming off of Mac Jones. They won't gonna come off of him. I mean, we just let Kurt go, and you got to figure out what other options did you have out there. I mean, if you look at now,
Willis.
granted, hold on, wait a minute. Yeah, he had some start, and he looked good after coming off of with when Jordan Love went out, but like he doesn't have a ton of reps up under his belt, as far as winning except at Green Bay because he had nothing with Tennessee, just losses. So when you compare that to what resume does look a whole lot better. I mean, now granted, last season it didn't look as good. His TD to interception ratio does look good if you go back and look at his stats. And like I said, that's what a mediocre, if that, uh, offensive line. A lot of his concussions, obviously, he seems to have learned from that. He didn't get none of that last year, so I was skeptical about that at the beginning,
Yeah.
thinking about it, but as more as I went through looking at, his style of play, he's left-handed. We already have a left-hander in here, so try to keep that going. He's mobile. He can move out of pocket pretty good on the run.
And you got an
Um,
offensive minded head coach.
yeah, and like we already ready to win. Like we ready to compete. The team is ready.
So I need
So
you to stamp it right now. The Falcons going to win the division.
it's like Norm said earlier, man, and it's wide open. I think right now the way um, the Saints look right now, uh, and Tampa, they look like they damn near rebuilding themselves the way they let the players go. but they've had gotten some good players too. Um, I think it will be a dog fight between us and Carolina, not just because Norm's a Carolina fan, but I just think with the competition mode right now,
Uh huh.
with with free agents that Carolina picked up, and we picked up 13 free agents. People forget, we not only did we get a quarterback, we got Jahan Dotson from Philly, who was a good receiver too. We picked up another kicker. We picked up two good linebackers. We picked up the linebacker, not linebacker. We did pick up a linebacker, but we got Austin Hooper back, who was good for us as a tight end. We got Alameda Zacchaeus, who knows the system. He's back
Uh
with
huh.
us. We also got your boy Cameron Lewis, who was opposite of Miles Garrett in Cleveland, who was
Okay.
dominating on the sack board too. So we got a couple more defensive linemen. So we're ready to win team right now. You know what I'm saying? We're ready to go in there because we got guys in there. I don't mean to prolong this, but you asked a question, so man. We got guys in here that ain't seen playoffs, man. Bijan, Drake. You don't want that talent to go to waste. You know what I'm saying? So, and another good thing is too, man. Your boy James Pierce, man, got a charge drop that could have potentially put him away in prison for about 6 years.
Uh
That
huh.
worked out great. So now we're just looking at maybe some suspensions and how long that's going to be. So right now, the NFC South is up in the air as far as the division winner. I'm going to say we can win it because it's my team, but
That's
reality,
what I'm saying. Put some confidence behind it. I
oh,
said
I
the
got
Jets gonna
confidence
make the
behind it.
playoffs. I
Look,
said the Jets gonna make the playoffs. I need somebody to tell me who's gonna win that division.
I'm telling you, I'm being realistic about it. If you want to put it like that, then guess what? We was one win away. All we need was one win to win division last year because you got some suckers that couldn't even doggone get a handout and do their job right. All they had to do was win it. Now they want to get down to the last game and have a dog fight to get into the playoffs. So guess what? You're doggone right. We can win the division.
That's what I need to hear. That's what I want to hear.
That's
I don't
right.
want to hear no modesty. I want to hear, listen, we gonna make the playoffs. We gonna win the division. I said the Jets gonna win the division. Some people might look at me like I'm crazy, but I don't care. The Jets, we making the playoffs this year.
Okay. All right. We'll stand on that. You want to put some on that?
We'll talk about that football season.
And that's when reality kicks in.
No, I'm still standing on that. But we gonna get to that closer to football season. Another major move. The Super Bowl MVP Kenneth Walker. He is no longer on the Seahawks. He is now on Kansas City. Now I don't know what's the recovery time for Patrick Mahomes. I don't know if he's going to be ready for the season when it starts. But to give Patrick Mahomes uh, 1,000 yard running back, you giving them another weapon.
Wasn't Pacheco 1,000 yard runner?
We talk. Yeah. No. Remember, he was hurt a lot.
I
No,
don't
no, no, no.
know.
Like in previous years, he's never had 1,000 yards.
I
I
don't
don't
know.
think
Maybe
so.
I don't know if he had 1,000 yards his rookie season. I don't even know that. I just know he was a hard runner, but I don't know if he ever had 1,000 yards because he tore his AC. I mean, he tore his ACL up too.
Right.
But he's in Detroit
I
now,
mean,
so
yeah,
No,
it'll be
Patrick
interesting.
Mah- Patrick Mahomes. Patrick Mahomes has never had 1,000 yard rusher. Just looked it up.
so I don't think so. He got one now.
Yeah, that's crazy. Kareem Hunt was the last one to do 1,000 yards, but Patrick Mahomes, that was in the year before Patrick Mahomes got there.
Yeah,
Correct.
that was Alex Smith.
Yeah. So you give Patrick Mahomes a weapon in the backfield and also another receiver that can catch. So it's gonna be interesting. Seattle also lost Witherspoon. Witherspoon, he goes to I think Philly. He goes to Philly. And I think Demarcus Lawrence, he left too. I can't remember where Demarcus Lawrence went.
Heard his
But
name.
that huh?
I hadn't heard his name.
Yeah, that Seattle team is gonna look different. A Seattle team is going to look different. They were in a unique situation where they wasn't really paying anybody, but after the Super Bowl win, the price just went up for everybody. So it's going to be hard to keep all those guys. Um, you know, like I said, man, the NFL season, even though the season ended a month ago, the NFL is still taking over headlines as basketball, as United States. I mean, the Olympics for hockey, baseball is ramping up. It's crazy how the NFL has a stronghold on all the sports.
Yep.
Now what else has a stronghold on all the sports. Uh, seems to be a little bit of controversy, right? So in the NBA, you had two guys up until I say this week, two guys that have scored 80 points or more in the NBA game. Rest in peace, Kobe Bryant. You have Wilt Chamberlain. But a particular player in the NBA on the Miami Heat, Bam Adebayo, he scored 83 points. Now, I'm interested to and I didn't look this up, but social media wasn't what it was back in 2006 or whenever Kobe broke the record. Well, whenever Kobe got that record. Um I've seen a lot more negativity on Bam's 83 than anything. And the thing that I don't like personally just as a fan is that anytime anybody, whether it be football, baseball, basketball, every time a record is broken, it's always met with criticism. You know, there hasn't been a record in the last 10 years that with social media people give credit to. I just want to know what's your
Mm,
thoughts on Bam's 83.
I figured, to me, man, I mean, that's an accomplishment, man. In my opinion, I don't care who does it. I mean, this guy's struggling to get 15 points in the NBA, and this guy goes and scores 83. I mean, and you're talking about. Let's go ahead and acknowledge that you just said here and said 100 by Wilt, 81 by Kobe, 83 by Bam. Those feet, regardless of the situation, are hard. Now, I'll say it was harder in Kobe and Bam's era. For Wilt, not take nothing away from Wilt, but not that many teams, and no, he was the only giant around at the time. You know what I'm
Yeah,
saying? But that don't take away from him. But the way basketball is played now, to be able to have that stamina to score 80 points to keep going like that, man, it's like it's a deal. I don't know who's making a big deal about it or saying bad things about it. I mean, you don't see that many times. There's other guys that done scored 70, 71. I mean,
yeah.
you know what I'm saying? I mean, that's an ordeal to score that many points in the league. So I think it was great. Enjoy it and go on about the business.
Nah, what's your thoughts?
I really don't care one way or another. Just you go back and look at it. That last 6 minutes is what everybody's really upset about. Close to 25, and then you're intentionally fouling to extend the game to allow him to get more shots and more free throws. I think that's really what everybody was upset about. It's impressive. It is the Wizards. It is what it is. But 40 something free
Yeah, what they
throws and he
do.
took 40 something field goals. That's impressive. But I really don't care one way or another. Because I think the other thing people are upset about is when Kobe scored his 81, the game was still within reach. It was on the line. It was an uphill battle, so he had to like take those difficult shots on a triple team and so on and so forth. Bam, you're up 30. You could have just sat on the bench. But, if the record is within reach, go for it. It is what it is. Go for it. I ain't mad at it.
So okay, so the comment to you. All right, well, I ain't never known no coach to sit here and teach somebody to stop playing when the clock is still going. It didn't say triple zeros. I can't help that you can't stop the team from scoring. That's not my fault. The same thing in football. They got somebody running up scores. Well, I don't care. I'm gonna get 200 points if I have to. You can't stop it. I don't care what happens in the last 6 minutes of it. Somebody doing this and that. You should have been able to stop the game, stop the players from
Look,
scoring.
but listen, if you're up 30, you got 70 some points, right? And you're hunting this record, God forbid he gets injured. Like we've seen it with Derrick Rose and other, star players where you're up big and you get injured and everybody is like, why was he still in the game? You know what I mean? So it's one of them type of things, but fortunately he didn't get hurt. He got the record. I think everybody's just upset about what it looks like down that last 6 minutes, the intentional fouls, getting to the free throw line, hunting the fouls, things like that. But whatever, it's basketball. It is what it is.
Boy, man, that's what happens. It's not like you're gonna see this every time.
So I'll say this, right? We had, and this is I'm going back to high school when I was in high school. We played a team that was one of the worst teams in our conference, right? And
Mm.
I we were up big. We were up like 40 points, but we had an opportunity to score 100 points total. So we pressed the whole game, even up 40 points. And I'm talking about we pressing, we up 40, whatever. But we had a goal in mind to score 100 points in high school. So we continue to press, even though we were up. And some might say, oh, well, you guys were up or whatever, but we didn't care about any of that. Like you said, TJ, we had a goal in mind. Till it's triple zeros, we're trying to score 100. Yeah, we're up 40 points. And we kept pressing. We kept getting steals, fast breaks, and everything like that. So we was able to score 100 points, and that was the goal, and that was the mindset. So I think that's what Bam was thinking. Like, you know what? I'm gonna go for Kobe's record. Now, somebody said on the radio that he would have respected it more if Bam stopped at 81. And I'm like, well, you're talking from a person that never played any sports at all. Because if Kobe, if you would have asked Kobe, God bless the dead, Kobe would have said, don't stop at 81, keep going. So as a competitor, you don't want to stop at the record and then, okay, I'm gonna pull back. No, you want to break the record. And
And
Kobe
you know
would have
what?
probably said the same thing.
You know what, T? You know what? I say this too here. You know what I mean? You still got to make the shot. I don't care if it's a free throw. I don't care if it's a jumper. I don't care if it's a layup. I mean, people don't miss layups. Plenty. You still
Yeah.
got to make the shots. It don't matter if they fouled him. They could have fouled him, and he could have, instead of hitting 30 some free throws, he could have missed a great deal of them. So you still got to make the shot. So what are we talking about here? I ain't
I
stopping nothing. I'm gonna
I
keep
think
going with the record.
I think that's the like Nam said that with the free throws, I think people are upset about the free throws. But the thing that I'm more impressed with is the fact that he made 30 something free throws.
Exactly.
That to me,
Exactly.
that's impressive.
If he had missed all
Because
those free throws, we wouldn't be having this conversation.
we wouldn't even be having this conversation. Because if you think
Mm.
about it, right? If Shaq was to make at least 60% of his free throws, how much more points would Shaq have like in his career?
Exactly.
I
Exactly.
was just about to say that. I think one of Shaq's game like career highs, he took a boatload of free throws, but he missed most of them, and he still ended up with like
He
60
missed.
something or something like that. So imagine if
If
had he
Shaq
made
was
those
to
free
at
throws,
least
we're talking about 70, maybe even 80 points at that back then.
if Shaq was to shoot at least 65% from the field in his career, you know how many points Shaq? Because they literally had a play design called the Hacker Shack because they knew they was going to get extra possessions to where they had to, as soon as Shaq get the ball, you have to foul him because they knew he was a bad free throw shooter. So to me, just me personally, and I'm not even a Heat fan, but just the fact that he was able to knock down 30 something free throws, that's tough.
That's what
That's
I'm
tough.
saying. What are they crying about out there? I mean, if you got an opportunity, you know how hard it is to first of all even break records to get into a record book. So my
Facts.
thing is, So our man has an opportunity at one time to catch
Uh-huh.
a record to be in the history books. I don't care how he does it. As long as nobody gets hurt from it, it doesn't matter. Chase it.
So if you remember a couple years back, Devin Booker scored, I think 70 something. Now
71,
people
no,
forget
73.
73, right? People forget he lost that game. They lost to the Celtics. But the fact that he
They
was
lost
able to score
big.
70, yeah,
It was a
they
blowout.
got clapped, but he was still in the game, going for, some type of scoring record.
That
Like I said,
and I think the fourth quarter, I think he took majority of the shot except maybe like 5 shots the whole
yeah,
quarter. So I mean,
yeah,
it's similar case.
He just
yeah.
lost.
So like I said, man, when it comes to records, I think, and this is a cliche, but records are made to be broken. Even though Kobe doesn't hold the record, us in our generation, in our modern times, we hold that Kobe record because a lot of us got to see that in real time. And for those that weren't born, they can watch that game. We don't really have knowledge. Well, we hear stories of the 100-point Wilt game, but when the people that wrote about it or whatever said, "Yo, they was doing the same thing. They was filing some of the Knick players because he did it against the Knicks. They were filing some of the Knick players so Wilt can get the ball back to score again. And at that time, the tallest guy on the Knicks, because the centers were injured, was 6'8", was a 7-foot monster. So I
That and
think
Will took a lot of free throws in that game too. They were fouling him. It was Hacker Will too because he couldn't
Hacker
shoot free
Wilt,
throws
yeah.
like that.
So
He just made
so
him that. He just made them all that night.
so yeah, so I
Be
Social
real.
media, social media make a big deal about anything, man.
everything.
The man scored 83. That was last week. We don't moved on to something else. You know what I'm saying? Just enjoy it and be done with it. You know what I
Now
mean?
listen, I'm not a fan of his style of play now, but recently SGA broke Wilt's 20-point consecutive game record. Granted, people are gonna, he's a foul merchant. And granted, I don't like the flopping and flailing all over the place, but the fact that for you to get 20 plus points for that many games, it's still a record.
Yeah. I mean, you still got to make the shot.
Yes.
You still got to make the shot. Otherwise, you wouldn't even be talking about it.
Yeah. Now I'm like I said, I'm granted. I might not like how you got it, but it's still a record that we got to acknowledge, man. I think social media has ruined a lot of sports, man. I think social media and just media in general has ruined sports. Um, you have guys, and this was a question that was asked to me about modern NBA and how the guys are saying that they should play less games. Granted, I've never played a minute in the NBA, but I do see that a lot of guys are having more soft tissue injuries compared to back in the days. I'm not a doctor. I don't know what's behind it. Yeah, you could say it's training, but you know, LeBron had mentioned something about the game is has advanced because not because of the physicality, but the guys are bigger, faster, stronger, and the pace. I think Nam mentioned this
Pace.
a while
It's the
ago.
pace
Like
of the game.
the pace of the NBA is so much faster. So I guess
Mhm.
like I said, I don't know the science behind it, but there's something that's causing a lot of these guys. We've never seen this many Achilles injuries in the history of
ACLs
sports.
too. ACLs,
ACLs, Achilles, all that.
Achilles,
A lot of that has
meniscus.
to do. A lot of it has to do with nutrition too. They're not eating like they used to. With all the money they're making is with with all the money they're making. I mean, come on. You want to talk about these so-called plumbers that people called them back in the day, but you didn't. These guys was running, playing every game to make money, and you didn't see that. You didn't see the injuries like that. Now it's they're doing a lot. They're doing a lot more. They're jumping higher. They running faster. And I don't. I think a lot of it got to do with nutrition and taking care of your body.
Yeah, well,
Yeah, I think some of it is pace because imagine a game 20 years ago, or hell, we can even go back 30 years ago and say, let's say a basketball game for the sake of the conversation, let's say it was like 80 possessions, 40 one side, 40 the other side.
yeah,
Today, you're averaging maybe 150, 160 possessions, damn near double what that was because the pace it's you cross half court, you get to the 3-point line, shoot. Cross half court,
and
get to
you're
the three
going
point
right back,
line, shoot. So you're
going
going
right
back
back.
and forth with that pace with a little bit of transition in between. Back then, your triangle offense is like 2 or 3 passes gonna happen, a couple of movements here and there. You're gonna wind that shot clock all the way down to to 4 or 5 seconds before you get a shot up.
Exactly.
Today, as soon as they cross half court, it's green light for everybody.
And to
Everybody.
your
It's 5 out.
point, a lot of the plays, there were plays that was being ran, but it was a lot of just standing around, guys
Hmm.
watching guys one on one, standing around. You know what I'm saying? Nowadays, guys everybody pretty much has a bag. You know what I'm saying? You got centers that can bring the ball up nowadays and shoot threes. As to where back in the day, the center got down on the lower block, we gave him the ball, and we let him operate down there. You didn't have centers really at the 3 point line doing anything. You know what I'm saying? So I think I would have to agree with Nam. I know they say that the physicality was it was more physical back in the day, but the way they make it seem like it was every possession guys was getting clothesline. There were just certain games that the
Yeah,
game
well,
is physical.
then it was more guys in the paint than it is now. Nom just alluded to that the pace is different, but as soon as everybody gets to the 3 point line, everybody's around the perimeter. There's hardly anybody in the paint. Where
Yeah,
versus then everybody was in the paint going down to grab a rebound or to dunk on somebody or whatever because the fours and fives were already there. Now you got the fours and fives. Everybody's around the perimeter trying to guard the 3 point line.
yeah,
You know, so it's not, I do agree with y'all on that and an aspect. It has changed because everybody is able to shoot threes and what I'm saying. So that does have a lot to do with it. I just think the guys that were stationary, a lot of them were down in the paint. You would think more injuries would have happened then because everybody's jumping and you liable to tear something.
yeah, yeah. I mean, game has changed so much, and I think a large aspect of the game changes. It's not necessarily the players, but I think it's the analytics. I think analytics killed every sport.
I was going to say that. I think that
Analytics killed every sport, man.
100%.
Because
100%.
analytics will has conditioned you to think, well, not even to think, but analytics has conditioned you to take the three instead of going to the basket for a layup, possibly getting fouled and getting the and one.
well,
And
analytics
I
tell you to go for the field goal and then you end up going for it, or it tells you to go for the play
go
and
for it on fourth
yeah,
and three. Like
yeah,
I don't, and then even in baseball, instead of getting a single or double, home run or strikeout.
yeah.
Nobody wants to play the field no more. So it's like analytics has literally ruined every sport to where you look at the stat, you look at the box score, right? And I do this often. I check the box score. You look at the box score, you're like, okay, they didn't have a great shooting night, but then it's like, yo, this guy shot 11 threes. He only made three? That's that's crazy. To shoot 11 threes and only make three or two, it's like, yo, I understand players have the green light nowadays, but bro, after like your fifth or sixth miss, you might as well figure something else out. But that's not thinking the game no more. That's like, okay, analytics is saying I gotta keep shooting the 3 pointer.
I'll
I,
tell you
ca- I,
this.
I can't stand analytics.
There's a player on the High Point University team. He's done nothing but shoot threes all season. Nothing. He hasn't taken a single 2-point shot all season. And that's what analytics looks like. Granted, he's shooting like 48, 49%. Like, I think he's taken 160 shots
Yeah.
and 144 of them, all threes. Shit, like, and he's made them, right? He's made a great chunk of it, but that's what analytics looks like. And then sometimes when you watch a game and you'll see like, I look at box scores like how you were saying. You'll look at the box score of like offensive rebounds and defensive rebounds, and you're like, what? Like, why is this so lopsided? And then you look at the players
Yeah.
that they're matched up with. It's a small ball lineup versus a traditional lineup, and they're wondering why their percentage is higher, but they're just not winning in the game because you're not rebounding. The rebound is part of the game too, and analytics has taught everybody that small ball
Mm-hmm.
is the way to go. So a lot of things people are
Yeah.
just forgetting about the game.
I agree.
Like the nuance of the game, and I hate the fact that a lot of the veterans, teams are not really holding on to veterans. You know what I'm saying? Everybody wants to get younger, but you need some solid veterans on your squad. And I think what helped Oklahoma City last year is that yeah, you had a bunch of guys that were young, but then you had guys like Alex Caruso and Hartenstein. Even though Hartenstein never won a championship, Hartenstein literally plays his role as a big man. I'm not going to shoot threes. I'm going to screen. I'm going to pass the ball, and I'm going to rebound. You don't need me to shoot threes. I could play my position, and I can you know run that Princeton style offense where I get the ball close to the perimeter, but I'm not looking to score. I'm looking to catch somebody cutting to the basket or pass it to one of my shooters. And I think nowadays everybody wants to just shoot.
Yeah, I think these owners, and no matter what sport it is, whatever sport, that's a team sport, right? I
Facts.
think these owners, I think these owners, they've they've lost they've lost the chemistry mentality when it comes to players playing with one another. All this trading and trading this player and trading that player, bringing this player, but I don't understand how they think chemistry can ever be maintained from one year to the next year to the next year. It's not like it used to be.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Where guys are staying on a team. It's rare to find somebody stay on one team now for a long period of time.
Yeah.
And it's hard to build chemistry with that quarterback or with that point guard or with your pitcher or
Yeah.
you know what I'm saying, or on the soccer team or whatever team sport. It's hard. Chemistry is the main ingredient when it comes to team sport.
Yeah.
Yeah, look
To them,
look at
chemistry is just a
college.
class.
No,
Say
look
again.
look at college with the NIL. These players are getting moved in and out every year, so it's hard to have a team, a program to say like, yeah, this kid has been with me 2 or 3 years. I've watched his progression. Very difficult these days.
Man, I mean, look, what's your boy on the Saints? They let him go after being there for 13 years. I was dumbfounded by
Kamara?
that, but no, he ain't been there that long.
Are
Cameron
you
Jordan.
talking? Yeah. Yeah.
Okay, yeah.
He's been there for 13 years. You know, I understand the wanting to move on aspect now as he done got older, but to me, it looked like he was still producing. You
Yeah. I
know,
mean, we talk about player movement, and players have said, you know what, I want to. Back in the days, the ownership would have basically your career in the chokehold, but now they want to take ownership of their own career. But I, at the end of the day, we talk about loyalty, but this is a business at the end of the day. So players are trying to do what's best interest for them. Owners is definitely going to do what's best interest for them. Um, you know, and in order for if they want to cut, they want to cut games or whatever from 82, cut about 10 games or so. But the owners are not giving up revenue. The players are not giving up revenue. and all these sponsors that paid these billions of dollars for these TV deals, they're not trying to, they paid for 82. So unless the NBA is going to give some of that money back, it's just a mess, man. It's just a
I think
mess.
baseball need to cut games. Having 100 and some odd games, I think 100, I think it was 160 or something. I don't know.
162.
Yeah, they need to.
162.
Yeah, they need to cut some games back. I mean, you dudes getting Tommy John surgery and throwing the elbows out and
Yeah.
you know what I'm saying. I think that's a little ridiculous to have that many games right there. Then on the other hand, the NFL is trying to add another game. You know what I'm saying? I don't think they need to be adding no more games.
Just
so
some
so do you
American greed, bro.
yeah, the NFL. So look, speaking of NFL, right? The NFL, as early as this year, said that there's a possibility that they'll have a game, the game before Thanksgiving. What is your take on that?
I think we talked about this one time before. Like you just trying to, I'm just said it too, greedy.
Facts.
You said a game before
Because if you
Thanksgiving? What do you mean?
they're thinking about, and they said possibly this year having a Thanksgiving Eve game. That's not even what Thanksgiving Eve. What is that? There's no such thing. That's just something that they made up
Like on a Wednesday?
on a Wednesday. So look, just think about this week, right? You'll have a game on Wednesday. You got the Thanksgiving game. You have the Black Friday game that they just added a couple years ago. They don't do anything Saturday as college football, but then you're gonna have Sunday and then Monday. So you're gonna have basically 5-6 days of NFL
Uh,
football. You know what I'm saying? It's like,
5 days.
okay, we get it.
Jesus
We
Christ.
love the NFL.
And
But
then you turn
yes,
that
thank you.
around, and then you turn around, and then you trying to take over Christmas too. You
Greed.
can't take that from the NBA,
Greed.
man. That's NBA time.
Greed. Because if you think about it, right, the NBA does nothing on Thanksgiving because they understand we're not going to get nothing that game. That day they have their games that Wednesday and that Friday, but they don't do nothing on Thursday because they know that's the NFL's day. But like you said, now the NFL is being a bully and say we're going to move into your territory. I see some dudes getting money in the town. I like it. Nah, would
Yeah,
catch
that's
that reference, but
insane, bro.
yeah,
Yeah, that is insane, bro. The day before, like the players are already saying that these are too many games as it is, and then now
yeah.
you're adding international. Every team is going international the first couple of weeks here and there.
The crazy
NFL
We'll
ain't
be
thing
looking
is,
greedy.
at a 20
my
game
fault. Go ahead.
season
My
soon.
fault, TJ.
No, you good. You good. I'm just saying the NFL has to be more protective than any other sport out there because this is a violent game and you're killing the product by working them like mules. And you wonder why you turn around every week it's an injury here. The superstars now.
Facts. And like Nam said with the international game, the fact that you're pushing, you're force feeding predominantly soccer fan bases to have football. And then if you watch the games, you look in the crowd, the two teams that is playing, you might have one or two uh, 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 people in the crowd that have those jerseys. They have a whole bunch of jerseys for teams that not even playing, so they just giving away jerseys just to promote. It's like, okay, we get it. Them dudes ain't watching American football. How is
Yeah,
the Jaguars versus the Panthers? But then you got Chiefs and Raiders and all these jerseys in the crowd. Like, yeah, it's just
that that
greed, man.
that, and you're gonna add all these games, and you still haven't answered the field issues that the players been complaining about for years and decades. All these injuries.
Facts.
You want more games, and you want them to play on essentially concrete, right? Green concrete. Like what? That don't make no sense. Crazy, crazy
Now,
time we live in, man. Where the
now,
the money dictate so much.
Now, speaking of crazy times we living in, modern medicine is phenomenal. So last year in May, I believe, one player by the name of Jason Tatum tore his Achilles, right? And for most people, an Achilles is about a year or so recovery or whatever. But Jason Tatum did something that I think in basketball, don't quote me, I think the last guy to do this was Dominique. Well, Dominique. Uh, he came back from a Achilles in less than a year.
Wait a
Jason
minute, didn't
Tatum,
Kobe come
huh?
back less than a year?
Huh?
Didn't Kobe come back less than a year?
From Achilles? I don't think so.
It was like 6 months.
He played it. Yeah, he played. Yeah, he played the next season.
Yeah, he played because he got injured late the season before, and then he came back like November that next season or early December. So that same year he came back that same year, but in two different seasons.
Well, I haven't checked. That's why I said you guys could be right. I haven't checked. No, Dominique did it and that they was going by the days. I think Dominique did it in 200 something days or whatever. You guys could be right. And y'all can fact check us in the comments. But Jason Tatum came back from an Achilles, and the crazy thing about Boston was nobody had Boston being a top 2 seed in the East. People were saying Boston was potentially a lottery team or playing team. Boston has thrived. You know, mind you, they don't have KP no more. They don't have Drew Holiday. They don't have Al Horford. So they pretty much got a new team minus White, Pritchard, and Brown. And the fact that they're still doing it, I got to tip my hat to Joe Mazzulla. He's doing a phenomenal job. And I know he gets a lot of backlash or whatever because he's snappy with the media, but he's a damn good head coach. Brad Stevens is a good GM, uh, and he's only continuing what Danny Ainge did all them years ago. Danny Ainge put together a team, and then Brad Stevens only took over and did the same thing. So, I mean, as a Knick fan, I don't like nothing Boston or the state of Massachusetts, but they're doing a phenomenal job over there because the Patriots are back. Boston is doing, the Celtics are good. It's like, damn.
Yeah, I
So
guess you think this improves their chances of making it to the finals or
Okay,
Eastern Conference
so
finals?
to answer your question, it added a little bit of pressure because they were playing with house money before he came back. Now their odds have went up. They're favorite to win the East now with Jason Tatum coming back. Now they're the team to come out of the East. But had he not come back, Boston is playing with house money because nobody expected him to do anything.
And not to be second in the East, definitely.
Facts. Like they had the Knicks before the season started. The Knicks being coming out of the East, and the fact that the Knicks are the third seed with all their guys healthy, it's crazy. Now we saw Detroit making a step up. We didn't think they was going to make that step this year, but Detroit, it's been Detroit and Boston all year. And
whose team is it? Is it still Tatum's team or is it Brown's team now?
it's
Or is it a
man,
loner
Now,
team?
social media wise, Jason Tate,
it's Jason Tatum, but
Brown
the
is
real
MVP.
dog on that team is Jalen Brown.
Yeah, and we said
I
this for
think
years.
I think it's always been like that. We just been fooled by the media and like how you were saying.
Yeah. But see, the crazy thing is, media, media meaning Nam and TJ, been wanting to break these guys up for the longest. You know what I'm saying? And I said this a couple years ago. The media been trying to break Tatum and Brown up like Skipping and Shannon. You know what I'm saying? They've been trying to break them up.
Yeah, but the
But
reality is
shout out to shout out
who has all the accolades?
to
JB.
All right. So it's his team. It's been like this. Finals
Brown.
MVP,
I mean,
conference finals MVP.
Yep.
He's an MVP contender right now.
Yeah.
What are we saying?
Facts.
we know it was a conspiracy in the Olympics prove that.
Yeah.
Yeah. I was
Yeah.
just about to mention it,
Jason
but
Tatum.
Tatum goes to the Olympics.
Yeah.
Just about to
So,
say that.
Yeah.
Come on now.
Exactly.
We know what we're looking at.
Because I mean,
We're not getting that in paper.
because listen, the thing is, he's a dookie, so they gotta push. They gotta push this narrative with all the dookies. If you went to Duke, you went to a pristine program, so they gotta push. They gotta push this narrative. You know what I'm saying?
All right. Look,
They
I'll
gotta
take it a
push. They
step
gotta
further. I'll take it a step further
they
and say
gotta
it's because
force
he's
feed
light
everybody.
skinned. It's because he's light skinned, bro. That's all. Had nothing to do with him being a dookie.
He light skinned it. He light skinned it with good hair. That's what it is.
That's
He
what it is, bro.
he light skinned it with good hair, and Jalen Brown is not. He's not light skinned, and I ain't gonna say he ain't got good hair. I mean, once he color it in, he right up there with Tatum. You know what I'm saying? Got the magic marker. He should be sponsored by
Yeah.
Sharpie and all that.
oh, that's crazy.
You know what I'm saying? They say tenderism. You know what I'm saying? Fall off the bone. That's Jason Tate. That's Jason Jalen Brown. Hairline falling off the bone. But
Oh man.
In
it,
hindsight,
it,
though, from the eye test, is what we usually go with, man. That's JB's team, man. I mean, nothing to take away
Yeah.
from Jason Tatum because he has the talent, but he is the man on that team, regardless.
I mean, Kobe said it best, man. God bless the dead, but Kobe said it best, man. Jalen Brown plays like a dark skinned dude. Jason Tatum plays like a light skinned dude. It's as simple as that. You got a guy that's a dog in Brown, and not to mention, he plays both sides, offense and
Two-way player.
defense.
Yep.
Two-way
I'll be real
player.
with you, man. I'll be real with you. From what I've seen over the years, even before the championship, man, it's like Jason Tatum wasn't he one of them ones that just ain't had that killer in him. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like JB was, like you said, he go dunk on you. He go get the messy points, the messy rebounds. If you out, he'll take over. And it's almost like Jason Tatum. He plays kind of skittish sometimes, man. Like I'm like, why are you selling for the jumper when you
Jump
know you
shots.
got more length than most guys and you can go just jump right over them and go get the point.
And
You
you know
Don't
what
damn
I'm
near
saying?
6'10".
yeah.
Jalen Brown is just suffering from Scottie Pippen syndrome. You know what I'm saying? This guy's gonna get all the accolades. This guy's gonna get all the praise, but I'm really doing the dirty work. That's what it's come down to. I'm doing the dirty work. I'm guarding the best perimeter player. You know what I'm saying? But this guy right here, he's
Yeah.
getting all the praise.
Hey, hold
That's
on,
all
wait a
it is.
minute, wait a minute, wait a minute, wait a
What's
minute.
up?
I can't let you slide with that. Hold on, wait a
What's
minute.
up?
Only difference with that is
Scottie Pippen was a better
hold on,
defender than Michael Jordan. That's
wait a minute,
just what it was.
wait a minute. Well,
Jordan got all the defensive praise, but Scottie Pippen was a better defender.
it wasn't no praise, it was awards. That's what it was. But let me go ahead, let me correct you on that.
Okay, correct.
The only difference on that is there was no question who the man on that team was. We're questioning
No,
who's man on this team.
I'm not.
We
I'm
ain't
not.
questioning who the
I'm
man
not
was on that
saying.
team.
I'm not saying Jordan wasn't the man, but I'm saying Scottie Pippen was in the shadow, even though Scottie did a lot of the dirty work.
Yeah, he did a lot of dirty work. We're not taking nothing away from Scotty. Scotty was that Robin. He was that man.
Sometimes he was Batman.
You talking
You
about
remember
George Clooney
last year?
Batman?
George
What you
Clooney
said
Batman
now?
is crazy. Remember last year in the playoffs, the Knicks would put Jalen Brown, I mean not Jalen Brunson on Jason Tatum. Too many Jalen's right now.
Yeah.
They'll put him on Tatum, and Tatum would just settle for threes and jump shots instead of going on the block.
Right. This is what I'm talking
Go on the
about. I
block.
don't.
and you're telling me
Dog,
Kobe mentality. Kobe is taking you to that block.
and that's
He's
what
gonna work
confuses
you.
me when those
You
guys holler
know,
about Mamba mentality. I'm like, come on, bro. Kobe will back you down to go down there and get a nice dunk on you real quick.
Oh yeah,
Kobe was
that's a
taking
fact.
prime LeBron and prime Carmelo and prime D Wade to the block.
Mm-hmm.
And some would argue that
Hey,
these
but
guards or
listen,
these
So
forwards are bigger than him.
hold
you
on,
miss
hold on,
one.
hold on, hold on.
You miss one.
No
You miss one.
disrespect to Kobe, but we're not saying Kobe no more when we take jump shots. We're saying Bam. I'm just saying.
Nah,
When
nobody's
you
not.
take when you take a shot, you don't say Kobe no more. You say
If
Creating
I'm
you
taking
problems.
say Bam.
if I'm
Creating
taking free
problems.
throws, yes.
Yo, that's just listen from now on. This is, ladies and gentlemen. This is what I want you to do. You know, back in the days when you had your little piece of garbage, whatever you shoot at the garbage, you say Kobe. We don't say Kobe no more. We say Bam. That's the new thing. That's the new trend. Social media said it
Do it on the free throw line.
and say Bam.
That's it. That's it.
Bam scored 83 points, but Bam ain't Kobe, dog. Come on. Can't do that. Kobe, you can't take that away, bro.
I'm just saying, Bam is the new. You know what I'm saying?
To you.
That he not to me, huh?
Yeah,
Bam out
to
of the
you.
Bam out of the bayou. Nah, but all seriousness though, yeah, Jason Tatum, you know, he plays with that mentality sometimes, but not all the time. Any final thoughts before we wrap this up?
Dudes need to stop selling for jumpers, man, and take it to the rim, man. Take it for what it is, man. You're too tall to be sitting out there shooting doggone J's all day when you can back the smaller guys down, man, and take over the game. I don't get this, man. I don't understand. I don't understand they thinking these days.
You know who doesn't settle for jump shots and goes straight to the basket?
Who?
Cameron Boozer. Cameron Boozer.
Yo, I
Shout
knew
out
he
to the
was gonna
Blue
say something
Devils.
about the. I
Hey,
knew he
you
was
think?
gonna say
Shout
something.
out.
Hey, hey, no, you think he better than his pop?
No. I think he's had a better collegiate career. I think he's probably had one of the best collegiate careers ever.
You think he can?
4 times in high school, state champions, Olympics, gold medalists in 16, 17U, and then of course here in Duke, National
But
Player of the Year, all these accolades. I think yeah, collegiate
he,
level
he
wise,
gotta he,
one of the greatest.
But
he
that
gotta
let
he gotta win the big dance though.
that let
Yeah,
that
he got to win one.
we
His
already
pop
know.
his pops won too.
We already know every time Duke become number one, they do nothing with it. So that's why I'm not even worried about it. You're number one every year, and yet you ain't won a doggone championship since 2018. So I don't want to hear nothing about it. So, but the lead, my question though, my question was, do you think that he's going to have a better NBA career than his father?
I don't know. I think the game is a lot different today. His style of play, I don't know if you could get away with that in the NBA, where you're like Tyler Hansbrough type of thing. That's the
Yeah.
comparison a lot of people have for him, where you're bully ball or on the block. A lot of power forwards and bigs don't play on the block no more. So he's gonna be asked to shoot a lot of jump shots, which I don't really know if that's his style of game. For his whole life, that's not what he does. You know what I'm saying? He's
Well,
always
but
on the
his
block.
his pops made a good career.
That's what I'm
Pause.
saying.
Playing
That was
down low,
then,
and
not
then
today.
no, I know playing down low, but he also expanded. He also expanded his range, not to the 3-point line, but he could. His pops used to knock down jumpers though.
And couldn't jump with the lick.
Absolutely.
Yeah, yeah.
But should I say that, like we said that it's always one or the other. Either the father will be a legend and the kid not that good, or vice versa. That's why I was asking. I was like, do you think he have a better career than his pop, seeing that he's doing real good now?
Honestly, I have no idea. I think a better comparison to me in the league is Julius Randle. I think he can have a similar game to that because Julius can operate in the mid range and he also can extend out to the 3-point line. He's a lefty. but he plays the
Yeah,
same type of bully ball.
yeah. And
Definitely
Julius is
can.
also a good passer too. Shout out to Julius Randle.
Yeah, I think Cameron is a good passer too. I just don't know what it looks like in the NBA. He has
Got you.
the skill set though.
That's
Shout
solid.
out to Duke though,
That's
number
solid.
one. Number one.
Please don't mention that. Please don't mention number one.
All right,
If you
man.
don't make it to the championship and do nothing with it, man, being number one
Yeah,
means absolutely
we
nothing.
ain't trying to hear all that. We ain't trying to
Yeah,
hear
I
all
don't care
that.
about that. We look
Oh,
just weeks ago somebody
I
else was number one. So what difference it make?
it was
Go
Michigan,
ahead, now.
and you know what we did to them, belt the ass. But listen, I got a question for the both of y'all. Should Carolina fans be concerned, but as in the Tar Heels fans, be concerned with Hubert Davis and the program? And it's not past couple of years. It hasn't really quite been up to the standard. There's flashes here and there. Of course, you have a premier player and a premier lottery, and Caleb Williams. Should they be concerned with the direction of the program?
I mean, you listen. NIL has ruined college sports. So as to where back in the days, Carolina had an advantage because it was one of those prestigious schools where guys wanted to come play. Nowadays is whoever has the most money.
Right.
That's what it boils down to. So
You can't really help your star player getting hurt. That ain't got nothing to do with the coach or anybody else. I mean, Caleb got hurt in practice, set to come
yeah,
back.
yeah.
I can't really
But
say that because we were doing pretty good. Still got a good record now.
to answer Nam's question, I mean, you got to find some more Caleb, some more Calebs, and hopefully land on somebody that Duke is. Duke sells itself nowadays. You know that Duke pause. Duke has a pipeline. You go to Duke, more than likely you're gonna be the number 1 to number 5 draft pick. So Duke pretty much sells itself. But
Yeah, but
it's tough.
guys don't stick around. You said it yourself
Yeah,
with this meal deal and this transfer portal the way it is, man. Guys don't stick around for once again no chemistry for a team to
yeah,
be able to look good the following season. So it's just like I don't know. Guys come play 1 year, boom. That's all you really
boom,
setting
that's it.
guys up.
Yeah, yeah,
I think moving forward, some programs will have a higher retention as far as their players because Duke brought back all their players. There was no transfers. The only ones that they added was Caden, Cameron, and maybe one player transferred in, but none of the players transferred out. Besides the guys that
yeah.
went to the draft, that was it. So I think most of the big school programs, let's just say they go further or they win this year, I think they'll see that as a blueprint and say, okay, we got to figure out a way to get our players to commit and stay, even if we don't win, we got to bring because when Carolina went to the national championship, lost, and then they came back the next year and won, they brought back all their players except the
Yeah,
seniors. You know what I mean?
yeah,
So it's
yeah.
a winning
Yeah,
formula.
so if you look at real quick, if you look at Villanova a couple of years ago with Jalen Brunson, Josh Hart, and them guys, they played together for like 3 years, and they won 2
Yeah.
national championships in that span. So Nam, you got a point.
Yeah, but that's all that all stems from traditions, though. You know what I'm saying? Like Duke,
It can be done.
Carolina. You know what I'm
Hey,
saying?
hey, Nam, think about it like this. Imagine if your cousin stayed, the Boozer twins came, and they still had Cooper and Knipple.
Yeah, it's not they're undefeated, but winning by 40 every game.
That's what I'm saying.
You
You
know
you
what I
look
mean?
at, like you said, if all and those guys were all lottery picks, Knipple,
Freshman.
Flag, and your cousin, they were freshmen. They stay. Plus, you bring in the incoming freshman. That Duke team is probably, we talk about that Duke team as one of the greatest teams of all time.
Yeah, absolutely.
So,
I
um,
think part of the issue too is the NBA allowing one and dones. It should be like 2 years. If it was 2 years, I think we're getting more players coming back. But one and done, all it's just you're just there for a drink of coffee and you're out of there.
That's it. I think they need to require them to do at least 2 years, man, before they come in.
Or just do what the Europeans do. If guys are really that good, they can play professionally early.
And we
They
we
can
we
play
seen what that looked
professional
like.
early.
We seen what that looked like in the NBA. The product was watered down. Because how many
But
straight out of
I
high
mean,
school players are great?
no. I'm not saying straight out of high school go to the NBA. Instead of NCAA, have like a real league that you got guys
Semi
like
pro.
Luca. You got guys like Luca. That Luca comes over here at 18, 19. He's been playing professional for the last 4 years. So he's been playing against grown ups for the longest time. You know, and not to say anything about any of these young freshmen, but you're playing against competition that some of these guys are not never going to the NBA, never going to get close to the NBA. Compared to you playing against a guy who has a mortgage, family, all that, and this is his life. This is his livelihood. You know,
They
you
can
going to Duke for 6 months is not really preparing you for the next level.
they can use the D League for that. They can
But
bring those
still,
guys
even
into the D League. You playing against grown men.
but
They
see,
can use
even those guys, a lot of those guys are never going to go to the NBA.
No, I'm saying they could change that style to what you're saying, like
Oh,
semi-pro.
change, yeah,
They could
yeah, yeah,
change it
yeah,
and
yeah.
use the D League for that to let them come up to the league.
Because if you think about it, right, you being a one of the top prospects or whatever, you're playing against guys that's been in college for 6 7 years. How is that beneficial to you? I'm playing against a guy that's 27 years old and has transferred 6 different times.
Well,
You know, like
to go ahead, go ahead.
no, I'm just saying that doesn't benefit me as the like. Okay, I want to play against the best. I'm playing against
Right.
this dude. Now I don't allegedly. I don't know the full story. Y'all can fact check it. The dude that got kicked out of USC, they said he lied about his age
Say he's
on his birth
28.
certificate.
Oh
Yeah.
yeah, he married. He
Yeah,
got a whole family and everything.
he got a whole family, and you know you
Kids.
28 years old still playing college. Like come on now.
I tried to say he was 36, man. I don't know about.
Regardless of whatever his real age
Yeah,
was,
30 is
the
crazy.
fact that you're closer to 30, the fact that you're closer to 30, bro, play somewhere outside of college. That's all I'm saying.
Eh,
Now I ain't knocking
Listen,
nobody's hustle. If a school is willing to pay you to play, go get it. But I mean, damn, bro, the product in college sports is like this dude is my age. I'm about to check to see if
you
I got
know,
some eligibility left.
to connect all the dots from, this whole episode, it's just greed. They're not gonna exclude the NCAA and just have a direct A to B from NBA semi-pro
Facts,
straight to the whatever. They're not gonna exclude this $1 billion thing that sells out arenas and all these national TV
facts,
things. So
facts,
now that's why college, you can argue, is semi-pro. They're getting paid. You can argue that
facts.
they just
And
have classes.
two examples of guys that didn't go straight out of high school to the NBA, but were products when they came to the NBA. LaMelo Ball, he went to Australia for a year, played against grown men, was a top pick. Brandon Jennings didn't go straight from McDonald's All American game to college. He went overseas to I forgot what team, and he played. You know, he came off the bench or whatever. He was number one. You know, one of the top high school players. Went overseas for a year and came and was a lottery pick. So it does. You do have instances where it works because Lamelo is, you know, they one of the hottest teams right now. But and Brandon Jennings, when he was a rookie, he was a problem. So I don't know, but like Nam said, the NCAA is basically semi pro now because they're getting paid.
Yep, pretty much.
But anything else besides Duke before we wrap this up?
Anything but
Yeah, anything but Duke, man.
Yeah, that's it, bro. That's all I got. You know, it's been
I do
All
notice
right,
though.
well,
I'll say this. I do notice those games that y'all playing, man. Y'all were barely winning. It ain't like y'all were like blowing guys
listen,
out. So don't come up here.
we're not about to
Come up
waste
here
another 10 minutes
boasting.
arguing about goddamn
I'm
Duke,
just
man.
saying, don't come up here boasting about being number one and you got taken to the brink every
and
single one
and
of them.
and I mentioned that earlier, right? I mentioned that earlier. A lot of the
Oh
games
God,
that
here
we
we go.
played that we were winning, the teams are traditional big teams, and when we're playing small ball bigs, and that's why the stat sheet looks like what it looks like.
Oh, so y'all
Remember
had a problem.
the game last night against Virginia. That the big kid had like 10 blocks. 10 blocks. He had a lot of blocks. He's a traditional big. And they had another big. Cameron Boozer is a power forward playing the five because of injuries. The rest of the teams it's a small ball lineup. How long can you get away with it? We'll find out in a couple of weeks.
And we'll find out in a couple weeks because we ain't talking about Duke no more. All right, this wraps up this episode. It's your boy T.
Hey, it's a man, TJ.
It's your boy now.
And we out.